Welcome to my corporate event planning series. In today's tutorial, we are ready for event management, the on-site operations. And this is where all the magic happens. Everything you've been working on for the past months comes together. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with some tips and tricks that even expert event planners often overlook. This all to make sure your event runs smoothly from start to finish. First up is before the event starts, you have to have a detailed checklist for every part of the operations. This includes venue setup, AV testing, catering delivery, emergency protocols, just everything. If you don't have a checklist just yet, you can find mine in the link below. I also want to give an insider tip here, and this is schedule a quiet hour before the start of the event. This is where no changes or last-minute requests are allowed. This gives you and your team a moment to ensure everything is set and ready to go. Next up, and that you can also add in your checklist, is the on-site team coordination. Your on-site team is your lifeline during the event, so make sure everyone knows their role and where they need to be at all times. I also recommend using WhatsApp, for instance, as a communication tool during the event. Set up a group chat especially for the event, and issues can be addressed here in real time. I also want to give a tip on the WhatsApp group. Instruct your team to go into radio silence mode at crucial times, like the start of the event, the start of a presentation, the switch of people on stage. Instruct your team to go into radio silence mode. This means no chatter on the communication lines unless it's an emergency. Next up, we have managing the flow of people. Registration is the first touchpoint for attendees, so make sure it runs smoothly. I always recommend having more staff than you think you need at this location. This to help prevent the first bottleneck of the entire event. A tip that I have here is, ever heard of shadow attendees? These are extra staff members who act as attendees but are actually there to monitor crowd flow and troubleshoot in real life. Next up, we have the real-time event monitoring. Keep an eye on everything, but then literally. Assign someone to monitor attendees' feedback through social media or the event app. If there's a complaint about long lines, temperature, or maybe even the sound in a room, you can address it immediately. Have one person on your team who is the designating fixer. This is just the go-to person for handling any on-site issues that arise. Whether it's a guest with a seating issue or malfunctioning microphone, this person handles everything calmly and discreetly, leaving you to focus on the bigger picture or even maybe the bigger emergencies. Speaking about emergencies, of course, the emergency protocols, because safety first. You never want to think about emergencies happening during your event, and here preparation is key. Review evacuation routes, have a first aid kit ready, and make sure your staff knows the emergency route. One thing many persons overlook is a designated spokesperson. Have a person with a clear voice providing instructions. They have at all times an emergency microphone that can overrule all other things. P.S. This person is not you and not the fixer. Also a tip here, use code names for different types of emergencies. For example, code green for a minor issue and code red for something more seriously. This allows your team to communicate effectively without alarming guests. And last but not least, the end of the event doesn't mean your work is done. Make sure to have like a quick post-event wrap-up meeting with your team to review what worked and what didn't. Also, don't forget to thank your vendors and team members. You'll be likely working with them again. And that already marks the end of video 7 in our corporate event series. I hope you found these tips helpful. If your next event is, by the way, a public one, do a shout out in the comments below because I'd love to hear about it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Thanks for watching and see you next time for more event planning tips. Bye for now!